Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. I hope everybody's getting excited for the holidays as they're coming up very shortly. I know I am. I kind of lost a little bit of time. I'm kind of recovering from a nasty little virus, but I'm on the downside, so everything's good. I have a few things to show you today, a couple things I did get completed, as well as I'm going to announce the winner, which we did put on social media for our quilt kit giveaway. There's some new stuff I would like to show you that came into the shop, just a few things. And I also have a cross stitch tutorial rather than the socialites this video, just because I think a few more people are getting on board with the cross stitch, but they don't really know the basics. So we're just going to hit the basics. That's it. And you'll see how easy it is and how actually pretty relaxing it can be. We want to say congratulations to Anna Churchman. She was the big winner of the quilt kit giveaway that we drew the name on the 15th of December. We put it out on social media and she has been contacted and been given her quilt kit. So we want to thank everybody that supported this giveaway throughout this last couple of months, and it was so nice to see a lot of you out there, and we are very, very appreciative, and we are going to have another one in the new year, so we look forward to that. So the new stuff that came into the shop I'm going to show you was we got a Kona solid in because we ran out of the jet black. So I decided, okay, we better get more black because that's a pretty basic, is it a color? I don't know, color, hue, whatever. I know black and white if they fall into that category. But I did a little goof. And instead of the 45 inch, I ordered the 60 inch. But it's still the same. It's just a little bit bigger. So it costs a little bit more, not much. It sells for $13.96 as opposed to the 45 inch, which is $10.48 a yard. So you do get quite a bit more, and I don't think in the future I'll be buying another 60 inch wide, but that was a mistake on my part. So this is what we have in the shop now. These are the new cross stitch needles that I got in. They're DMC and they're size 24. So you get, I think there's 6 needles in each one, so that's new to the shop. Next we have is the Perfect 5 Quilts by It's So Emma. I'm going to go back to this one in a minute because this is such an excellent book. I am just so happy with the quilts that you can make just out of charm packs. So or even 5-inch squares. If you got some yardage, you want to cut up 5-inch squares, you're going to be surprised at what you can actually make. With just 1 pack, 2 packs, 3 packs, or 4. It goes all the way up to 4, but it is it's an outstanding book. I think it is. I had to test it out, so I will show shortly on what I did. Next we have some Lori Holt needle minders. This one is a little bit bigger. This is the sheep one. We did carry this one before, but you can see the difference where they're both needle minders, but this one you can also put your scissors on. So for those of you who tend to put your scissors down and forget, what did I do with my scissors? I've gone looking myself many times, but if you have one of these around, and the magnet on it will just grab the scissors and you know exactly where they are at all times. And if you are a cross stitcher, then your needles are right there. I've been cross stitching for a few years now, and without a word of a lie, I have never lost a needle using one of these. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this is the other one. It looks like a little bonnet. Again, it is bigger. You can see the difference between the two, and you can use this for scissors as well. Okay, so I wanted to test out one of the quilts in this book, and this one's called Animal Crackers Quilt. I made a crib size quilt with just 1 charm pack, and it was super easy, but I made it look, I kind of like it the way it turned out. This is the finished quilt, so you can see there's just 1 charm pack, so each 5-inch square made each one of the blocks. So I think there was a total of 36 for this particular one. And then what I did was I added a little more border to it just to make it a little bit bigger than I put on the binding. So you don't really need too much more other than your background, border, and some binding, and of course your backing. But this is, I'm gonna hold it all the way up. So it's a nice either lap size or a crib size quilt. Like you probably have, like me, I had like 20 charm packs, and I'm sure some of you out there have way more than that. So it's just amazing what you can do with those little things. And I was going to show you a couple of the quilts in here without showing the fabric requirements or the cutting. So there's one like this with little houses. I think that uses 1 charm pack. They're very simple, but yet they look really nice depending on your charm pack. You can make them look pretty snazzy. And I think this probably uses 3 or 4 charm packs. But if you've got some that are similar, even maybe have a couple by the same designer that they would kind of blend in together, or just go all scrappy. It's amazing what the, oh, look at this one here. Look at that. So nice. It's simple, but when you get it done, they look so nice and they're quick. So if you needed something to do for an occasion or somebody's birthday or something coming up, or even somebody having a baby, you can get some really cute charm packs and make something like that. So again, that's the perfect 5 quilts. There's like perfect 10. So I might have to try that one out next, but I did want to try it out first before I bought a few of the books to sell myself, because I really think this is such a great value for your money. Now I also want to show you my fully finished quilt that I got back from Long Armor. Thank you, Wendy Doran. And I just wanted to show the quilting on this because it is so cool. Wendy did a great job. This was a new pattern for her. So Angel's probably zoom in there. You can see all the fun quilting on this one. I thought it turned out really great. And I'm so glad to have it all done, completed. And I don't think I'm going to continue on with the molded blockheads. I think they continue in January. So I'll just wait till next year and see what they have for that one. I'd like to try something new in the new year. Here's the bottom half. And that was a really fun project to do. Now here's the cross stitch tutorial, which I'll show you some basic instructions on how to get started. Okay, here's a very basic video on how to cross stitch. First I'm going to show you a chart. This is a cross stitch chart. And on this side we have your cross stitch information. So the count is telling you right here. The stitch count is 88 stitches wide by 113 high. So, and then it tells you the different types of fabric, cloth that you could use. 10 count, 14, 25, 32, and 36. The higher the number, the smaller your image is going to be when you're done. So you can see that the 10 count gives you almost like 9 by 11 and a half. And the highest count will give you a 5" by 6 and almost in half. So that's good to know when you choose how the count on your fabric. I can't show you the inside of the actual chart because that if you'd have to purchase the pattern to be able to see that. But this is what you would actually get when you're done. There are symbols that show each individual color, so you can just follow those symbols and match it up to the legend here. Here's a sample of some cross stitch fabric. It's 14 count 8 cloth, and what that means is there's 14 holes for every inch going side to side and up and down. So if you have a square inch, there's like 14 one way and 14 another. So again, the higher the number, the smaller the holes will be. So I advise you to start on something like the 14 count. You will need some floss. You can use DMC or Aurifil or Classic Colorworks or weeks. There's just all kinds of different flosses out there. DMC is your one of the most economical ones, and you can pick up at places like Michael's or whatever, but this is the number. DMC has hundreds and hundreds of numbers, and they all have different colors associated with them. So just have fun with it. Go out and check and see what works with the chart that you've picked up, or maybe you want something totally different. DMC is pretty economical to do this hobby. Now, I use a hoop when I cross stitch. Some people like to do it in hand, which I've done both, but this hoop is for the price of it, it's only a few dollars, and I have to tell you, this is one of the better hoops that I've ever worked with. You need a small pair of embroidery scissors. These are pretty sharp and pointy, and you can bring these on the plane. It's handy to have a needle minder. You just put your needle on there, and you just never lose your needle. This is what I do when I undo my skein of DMC. I put it on one of these floss biddies. I cut it to about an 18-inch length. When you unravel the DMC, it comes in like a strand, but there's 6 strands per string. So normally you just, well, I'll show you what I do. So I just take it off the floss biddy, and I want to take one strand. So you just grab it like that and pull. And pull fast. Don't go slow, because you're more likely to get knots in it. And then I just put the rest back on the floss biddy or floss drop or whatever you use to hold your floss, and then put that aside. To thread your needle, now I fold mine in half, and I do what's called the loop method. So I grab my needle, and I'm gonna fold it over the needle, pull like this, whoopsie, and I'm gonna just push it through, and it's threaded. Okay, so the 2 ends are right here on this side. The loop is right here. Now I use this magnifier, and it also has a light. I'm not going to turn on the light because I think it'll mess up through the camera, but I got this off of Amazon, and it's a halo. There's a Halo Go, and there's a Halo the Daylight, I guess they call it, and you just plug it in, and it's real handy because I cannot stitch without some kind of magnification. So I'm just going to show you. This one I'm going to do stitch in hand. So what I do is I serge the edges of my fabric so it doesn't fray, and I just kind of wind it up a little, and I hold it like that. And we have to find a hole. Okay, so we come in like this, and we're going to go over 1. So we have 2 strands going over 1 hole. So that's 2 over 1. If you were doing linen that had a higher count, like a 32 count, you would probably do 2 strands over 2. And now we just loop it like that. And that's called the loop method. So now we have a nice tight start. It's not going to come out. So now I'm going to do the cross. So that first one, I went from the first hole diagonal up. So 1 going up. Now I'm going to go straight down below it, pull out the thread, and I'm going to make that cross. Okay. So let's do it again. I'm going to pull it through. Okay, so we're going to go diagonally across to the top right, and then we're going to come into the lower right and back across to the upper left. So keep consistent with how you do your X's, because it does make a difference afterwards on how it looks. Like that. It's a little hard to see when you're standing up. Okay, so now we have 3 X's. So go in right below that same one, go diagonal across, upper right, bottom right, up to the upper left. So now you can see our progress. We've got four X's, and I'm going to do one more here. And then I'm going to upper right, bottom right, and across to the upper left. So now we have 5. I just want to show you a different method if I can. So if you can go up, and some people like to do like that method. So you're going to go to the top, down to the bottom stitch, and you go across. So they call that the sewing method. And then they go across and do, let's say, we'll do about 3 so you can see. It's a little quicker. I find the tension is a little different if you do it that way, but that's just me. And then you go back and you can do the same thing. Now I'll just cross them over that. So we get our nice crosses. Don't forget to go back and cross them back over. And you can do the sewing method going back, but again, I'm the type that just pokes in, up and down, up and down. That's my preferred method. Okay, so now you think, okay, now what? I got to change color. What should I do? Well, you're just going to go on the back. And what you're going to do is you're going to feed the needle through a few of these loops, and you're going to pull like that so it's nice and secure. And we're going to take our scissors and we're going to snip fairly close like that. So now this, you can see this is the back, and it's very neat. It's very clean. So that's the front. There's our X's. And here's the back. So if you continue like that, you will not have a bunch of threads all over the place. So just kind of tuck them underneath like that. And that's pretty much all there is to cross stitch. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. And don't forget, you're going to be having a whole bunch of different colors, and it'll start taking shape, and before you know it, you'll have a complete cross stitch. So fairly simple and very relaxing. So I hope this helps those that are interested in starting out. In addition, I just wanted to say that we have several different cross stitch patterns available for purchase here. I have quite a few Lori Holt ones. We have this particular one, and if you go on the website, you can see what we have. And we also have several different cross stitch fabrics. So there's 14 count, 16 count, and linen, and all different types of colors. So have a look there, and they're modestly priced. They're very good value. So enjoy your cross stitching. As we come to the end of our first year, not calendar year, but our first year within the last 9 months when we first started, Angelus and I would like to say thank you so very much for everybody that has supported us, whether you bought something or you had something kind to say or you watched the videos. We are just so thankful, grateful, and we want to wish everybody the happiest of holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever floats your boat, Festivus for the rest of us. Just have a great time, take some time for yourself, and we'll see you in the new year. As always, keep sewing, keep stitching.